Jeremy Sockman with a review plumbed from the depths of that most holy of all decades, the 1980s. This one summoned right from the spirit realm with a message from beyond time. It's Witchboard from 1986, and it's got words for us from the other side. So let's take a look. Witchboard begins with one of those parties we've all been to where someone busts out a Ouija board for a little fun and games. Here, Brandon convinces Linda to saddle up and they contact the ghost of David, a deceased 10-year-old boy who doesn't seem to like Jim, Linda's hard-drinking, hard-quipping boyfriend.
I guess if Barbie dolls have been around that long, you'd be talking to them too.
There's a tire slashing, but everyone just laughs it off. But Linda can't let it go, and she starts playing around with the board in her spare time, chatting it up with the ghost boy who helps her find her lost engagement ring. Strange things are afoot when David's hammer goes missing and an accident at the construction site takes out his buddy. The cops sure think Jim was involved, but Brandon knows the truth. Linda's getting set up for progressive entrapment, and he calls for a seance. Seems to go all fine and dandy, but the wacky medium is killed by a ghost and Linda's knocked loopy.
Jesus Christ.
She suspected something about David. She was going to check on it. I think David killed her.
Wait a minute, the spirit killed her?
Yes, and I think he cut your phone line too, so I couldn't warn Linda about the Ouija, and he probably killed Lloyd. But that time I think he was after you.
Brandon and Jim head up to Big Bear to find the resting place of David, but uh-oh, this ghost doesn't like that, and he takes out Brandon with a well-placed axe to the head. Jim rushes home to find Linda possessed, not by David, but by a long-dead serial killer named Mal Fedor. So, spoiler alert, with the cops watching in confusion, he shoots the Ouija board and banishes the ghost.
And that's it?
Believe me, Linda, we did the right thing.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that was one nasty ghost. Good thing the exorcism didn't happen. Would have been mondo up.
Now you might be thinking, here I go again. This just sounds like a pretty standard Ouija board movie. Heck, contacting the spirit world is practically why those things were made in the first place. But what sets Witchboard apart is not the slang and mullets, it's the deep truth that director Kevin Tenney conjures up. See, this isn't a movie about ghosts, no matter how many fog machines and POV shots they cram in. No, this is a movie about a man hungry for love, but suffering the fear of commitment.
You're so smart.
Consider the fact that the really crazy stuff happens when Jim finds out Linda is pregnant. She tells him she loves him, but he's not so sure. He was hoping to take it slow and easy. In Jim's world, it's all or nothing, and we see every man's worst fears of settling down come into play. Losing your friends, getting called at work all the time, having to look after a neurotic wife whose wild mood swings ruin your day. But instead of just telling us all this, Witchboard gussies it up with some spirit axes and creepy ghouls. In the end, when Jim sees Linda in full-on crazy mode, he asks himself, is this love? And realizes that deep down, she's a real babe and her charms go straight for the heart. So shooting the Ouija board wasn't banishing a nasty Casper, it was putting his own fears into the grave. 3 in the head and it's dead. Now he's free to marry and live happily ever after.
Bingo.
Witchboard goes above and beyond most ghost stories to plunge the depths of the male psyche in ways we're not used to. Tenney had something to say here, and he took the Parker Brothers game as his backdoor way to do it. Sure, we get a shower scene with the future Miss David Coverdale, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't buy the Blu-ray today and slide it into your player for a quick spin. Save it for when you're up late in the still of the night, and you'll find that the more you give it a chance, the deeper the love you'll have for this one. I'm Jeremy Sockman telling you don't turn away from this hidden gem, and that's why I'm giving 1986's Witchboard my seal of approval.
You know, I saw this magician once. He managed to make an entire elephant disappear. An entire elephant! That's no mean feat either. Yeah, just a tiny elephant's pretty tough just to stick up your sleeve.
That's good. I'm impressed, Brandon. I mean, that's almost witty.
In the middle of the summer.